Hi, welcome back. I'm Monika. In this episode, I'll tell you about Market Square in Wrocław. We'll check the most popular buildings and places on Market Square and learn some interesting facts that even locals don't know. Let's go! The city's heart has 3.8 hectares, making it one of the largest in Poland and Central Europe. The Market Square was formed in its current form after the city fire in 1241. Interestingly, the inhabitants started the fire to defend themselves and the city against the Mongol invasion. Anyway, the Market Square was once a trading place where different kind of goods were bought and sold. We could call it a medieval supermarket. There were wooden shop sheets everywhere. Have you ever been to Wrocław Market Square during the Christmas market? Imagine in the past it was something like that the whole year. From my episode Basic Information about Wrocław, you probably remember that two main trade routes crossed in Wrocław, Via Regia and Amber Route. Moreover, we had a law of storage that said if a merchant was traveling through Wrocław, he had to stop here and trade, which was powering the economy. The Market Square was also a place where you could exchange information and where many of the most important events took place. In the central part of the Market Square, we have a mid-market block turned clockwise by 7 degrees. Why is the market crooked? It's a bit unlikely that it was a mistake. Most historians say that it was intentional to develop a larger trading square here, called Pigeon Square today, which makes sense. That was the purpose of this place. Plus, it makes the building lines more dynamic. The most recognizable building on Market Square is Town Hall, which everybody calls Town Hall, but the proper name is the Old Town Hall, as this is not the only town hall we have on the Market Square. The new Town Hall, which is this building, built in 1864, it is now the seat of President and the City Council of Wrocław. Why did they build the new Town Hall? Because the old one was too small and too old. The Old Town Hall is a beautiful, unique Gothic and Renaissance building, one of Poland's best preserved historic town halls. It's a combination of buildings and extensions built in several stages for about 250 years. The oldest part of the building is now almost completely absorbed by further construction stages, and it is invisible from the outside. Here are two beautiful courtyards inside too. Nowadays, the Old Town Hall is a branch of the Wrocław City Museum, and there is also a representative room, Great Hall, impressive 650 meters square that can be rented for different events. In the Town Hall basement, or the Old Town Hall as we should say, we have Świdnicka Cellar, the oldest restaurant in Poland and one of the oldest in Europe. Speaking of the oldest things, we have here the oldest clock bell in Poland in this tower. It's from 1368. The tower is closed for the public, but every Sunday at noon you can hear Wrocław bugle call. The Old Town Hall used to serve as the seat of the city authorities and the court. That's why we have the pillory in front of the former main entrance. Wooden at the beginning and then stone since 1492. The pillory is a popular meeting place on Market Square. We would say, let's meet at the pillory. In the past, it was used to punish those who did not obey the law, mostly flogging or cutting off body parts, hair, ears, hands, noses. Actually, after the war, during excavations, the remains of bound women's hands were discovered. The southern facade of Old Town Hall is called the City Chronicle. There are historical scenes and figures of former citizens of Wrocław. In the last days of the World War II, an aircraft bomb fell into the building, but likely did not explode. This is how the Market Square looked like just after the war. Here are some cows. There are 4 walls of tenement houses on Market Square called the directions of the world. East, Green Reed side, West, called also the site of the 7 electors, North, called Swedes Market site, and South, the Gold Cup site. Now, I've never heard someone say this restaurant is on the west side of the market square or the Gold Cup side. Most people would say this restaurant is on the wall when the McDonald's is, or Pizza Hut, or Santander Bank, or Hard Rock Cafe. Well, it is what it is. Let me know how you call each of them. Anyway, those buildings were more or less demolished during the Second World War, but you must remember that they were also rebuilt and even demolished, and new ones were built in their places already in the past centuries. Only some parts of the buildings are real historical gems, like the entrance, the basement, or the decorations inside. We have 54 historic tenement houses around the town hall, but we have 60 numbers. Some of them even have a name. Numbering begins with this tenement house near the Church of St. Elizabeth. This is number 1. This is number 2, called Tenement House under Griffins. This tenement house is actually Renaissance skyscraper with 8 floors and 2 basement levels. Here is number 5 with Dwór Polski restaurant and with a cute hidden courtyard at the back. Number 6 is the tenement house under the Golden Sun with the Tadeusz Museum. There is also a small cinema for free. You can check the list of the movies under the link below. Number 7 for tenement house under the Blue Sun. Number 8 tenement house for 7 electors. The next building has number 911. As before this building, there were 3 other tenement houses. And then 2 of them were demolished to make room for 1. So then we had 2 tenement houses, and then those 2 were demolished as well. And this is how in 1931 the first skyscraper was built in Wrocław. It was the Municipal Savings Bank. Now we have here Santander Bank. Not many people were big fans of this building, and still not many people are. There was a plan to rebuild it, but the war happened. The building's portal is decorated with Egyptian hieroglyphs. At the time, there was a big fascination with Egyptian everything after the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun by Howard Carter in 1922. In the building, there is also workspace for rent and an interesting lift that never stops. I've already mentioned this in the episode about Dwarfs in Wrocław. I'll leave the link in the description box below. That was my first video published on YouTube, so don't judge. Anyway, the building was sold in 2018 and the new owner wants to rebuild the facility and create a hotel and apartments there. Probably we're still waiting for the building permit. The south side is also called the Gold Cup side, never used. There are buildings mostly reconstructed after the war, which in the past mostly served as department stores. In the number 14 you can find tourist information and a gift shop. Number 19 is tenement house under the old gallows. The gallows, which since 1515 were located on the opposite side. Now we have here the Alexander Fredro Monument, which was moved here from Lviv in 1956, together with other stuff like the painting panorama of Racławica, as after the Second World War Lviv was no longer in the Polish border, but Wrocław was. The monument is from 1879, which makes it the oldest Polish monument in the city. Earl Alexander Fredro, born in 1793, is considered the greatest comedy writer in the history of Polish literature. He's like a Polish Shakespeare. At number 22, there is a tenement house under the Golden Jug. In the medieval ages, a beer called White Aries was brewed in the basement and it was transported through the underground tunnel to Świdnicka cellar. They don't do that anymore. The Golden Cup tenement house has number 26. The name comes from the family name that owned it in the 15th century. Until the 17th century, there was an inn. Later on, there was underwear company, and after that, a colonial store. Here's the east wall called Green Reed Side. Again, we don't use the name nowadays. We have here number 30, Old Town Hall tenement house, which served public functions and was the seat of the city authorities before they moved to the town hall, today Old Town Hall, hence the name of the house. Number 31 and 32 for Phoenix department store, as we used to have two buildings here. The former Barrage Brother department store was opened in 1904. Unfortunately, the prestigious interiors and the illuminated glass globe at the top have not survived, but still you can buy here basically everything. For example, you can get here famous ceramics from Bolesławiec and Polish ceramics in general. This window in the tenement house number 33 used to be a ground floor window. How is that possible? Well, in the past, waste was thrown here and there and it was covered by sand and debris. That is why the market square level has risen by 3 meters over the centuries. Here's number 34, the Golden Star tenement house, then numbers 35 and 36, 37. The last one is tenement house under the Golden Dog. The youngest tenement house on the market square was rebuilt in 1994 based on the preserved plans and photographs from the 18th century. Today we have here Golden Dog Brewery. You can taste different types of beer here, and the dogs are welcome, of course. By the way, there's also a menu for pet in Świdnicka cellar. The last site, called Sweets Market site, is basically about golden something. There's a tenement house under the Golden Pelican, a tenement house under a Golden Deer, the Golden Crescent, Anchor, Room, Palm, so much gold. In the tenement house Swish Hall number 47, since 1832 a bookstore and a publishing house were located, which operated for more than 100 years. Now Herd Bakery is here and very good coffee for 7 or 8 Polish zlotych, probably the cheapest coffee on the market square. Anyway, if you're visiting Market Square in Wrocław, don't limit yourself only to the main square. Go and explore the streets that lead from Market Square. If you would like to find out more about Wrocław, click one of the boxes that are popping up around me. That's all for now. See you soon!